Tonight on NewsWatch 12 at 6, a local business is facing repeated burglaries in the last year. How just a few dollars is costing them thousands. And details on the nationwide fire map that suggests we'll see above average fire danger this summer.
And we're keeping an eye on some spotty showers out there early this evening, but these will be melting away, and we got some drier and warmer weather to look forward to as we wrap up the work week. I'll have the details on the warm up and that break in the action when it comes to rain and snow coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Take a look at this video here. It doesn't show one or two or even three. It shows 4 burglaries that have taken place at Yumberry Bowls in Grants Pass in less than a year's time. Well, crime is something that's always a worry for business owners. This one is calling for action. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravitt. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker shares the experience of this repeat victim.
Yumberry Bowl in Grants Pass, the owner Julie has turned this business into the American dream, celebrating nearly a decade of success. But in the past year, she's been getting robbed and burglarized every other month. June, September, December, and just this February. All months in the past year that Yumberry Bowls has been burglarized.
We have had a couple of thefts over the 7 years that we've been here, but those were years ago, and like maybe one every 2 years. Now we're talking one every 3 to 4 months.
Burglars jamming open their windows, breaking open their doors, and busting open their gate.
We feel violated. It's kind of defeating.
Getting to a point where Lockman doesn't get surprised when there's another call.
I don't want to say I expect it, but it's like, here we go again.
Burglars have only stolen frozen fruit and less than $20 through all of the burglaries. But the damage has cost the owner thousands.
It's just kind of like a gut punch.
She says the reason is the region being too relaxed on crime.
And unless we put an end to the enabling that's going on in the county, it's not going to come to an end. It's going to continue.
With the business franchised into multiple regions, Lockman says this is a Grants Pass issue.
Those areas that we franchised in are not having the issues that we're having here in Grants Pass. So it's a totally different ballgame.
While she waits for local changes, she does the best she can to keep the business secure.
We have cameras all over here. We have cameras inside our drive-thru, outside the drive-thru, on these buildings. The neighbors, Doc Holliday Gun Shop, they've got cameras that point right onto our entire area here.
In Grants Pass, I'm Rocky Walker.
And now let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to see when we are going to see a warm up in the future, Matt.
It's right around the corner, but we got to get through a pretty cold night tonight. So we're going to see some more of these breaks in the clouds developing. Showers will be tapering off, but then as that happens, that's going to make for those colder temperatures tonight. Winds will be fairly light, the perfect recipe to see temperatures tumbling down into the 30s and 20s for most spots for lows tonight. You can see some of those darker skies in Medford. We do have some hit and miss showers out there still. Rain and higher elevation snow showers in Medford. Most of the action looks to be to the west. Some showers working through the Jacksonville area right now. Up into the Cascades, road conditions not looking too bad, but tonight with any lingering snow showers out there, we could see some slick spots overnight and then into tomorrow morning, but some pretty good travel weather expected in the days ahead. We're really going to see some much quieter weather for tomorrow and even more so on your Friday. Temperatures this hour, it's pretty chilly, especially for early April. 52 in Medford, it's 46 in Klamath Falls. Winds, bit of a breeze out there for most spots. Some blustery winds for the coast, and it will stay fairly breezy for tomorrow as well. Tonight, look at those colder temperatures, down to 34 in Medford, 24 degrees in Klamath Falls, and 27 in Wairika. Rain and snow showers wrapping up. Mainly dry weather for tomorrow. Some clouds inland, but blue skies for the coast with breezy winds. Temperatures will be warmer than today in the afternoon, but still running a bit below normal for this time of the year. That'll change as we wrap up the work week for Friday. I'll have details on how warm it's going to get into this weekend coming up in just a bit. Haley.
Thank you, Matt. And the National Interagency Fire Center has issued their National Significant Wildland Fire Potential Outlook maps for this summer. Let's take a look. The map evaluates weather patterns, geography, and drought monitors to predict how severe fire season could impact different parts of the country. In Oregon and California, the map suggests fire risk will be above normal beginning in July, as you see here. This means the wildfires in July could be larger and more frequent than in previous years. And California Department of Fish and Wildlife released 79,000 endangered salmon into the Klamath Basin. These coho salmon were raised from eggs and released into Fall Creek, which feeds into the Klamath River. Coho salmon are listed as threatened species at both state and federal levels. The release helps in building long-term resiliency for local salmon populations. And a recent court ruling overturned the Bureau of Land Management's logging project intended to reduce fire risks, violating it for environmental laws. The decision sparked debate over balancing wildfire prevention and conservation. NewsWatch 12 Samantha Gadera spoke with one of the attorneys involved.
The most egregious violation that we identified potentially was that the BLM was not following its own resource management plan for how late successional reserves should be managed.
BLM's integrated vegetation management project targeted over 800,000 acres, including old-growth areas important for species like the spotted owl. Conservation groups, including Oregon Wild, argued that the project would harm these habitats and increase fire risks.
The resource management plan, it says that BLM must not allow logging in those reserves unless it can show that that logging will not delay development of spotted owl habitat by more than 20 years compared to no logging. And the BLM just could not show that for a lot of the logging prescriptions it authorized.
The ruling came after environmental groups challenged BLM's plan, claiming that logging in these areas would delay the development of the spotted owl habitat by decades and increase wildfire risks. The court agreed, ordering the agency to reconsider its approach.
We're hopeful that BLM will realize that it does need to undertake site-specific analysis when it proposes logging, that it will focus on genuine fire risk reduction activities like prescribed fire and non-commercial thinning, and that it will recognize the value of these late successional reserves for the whole purpose they were set aside for.
I've reached out to the Bureau of Land Management for comment on this ruling, but I've yet to hear back. Reporting in Medford, I'm Samantha Cadera.
And the Eagle Point Police Department and other local law enforcement agencies will be partnering with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Oregon Department of Transportation for Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Federal and state grant funds will be used to place extra officers out on the roads in order to enforce and educate drivers on distracted driving. Looking at a money alert, the Oregon Department of Energy has awarded $950,000 in grants to 19 Oregon counties, including Lake County. The grants will strengthen energy systems that are needed to support critical public service. The department has awarded each participating county with $50,000 to create a plan that outlines current energy infrastructure and resilience needs. And right now, a local high school is preparing an exhibit to bring awareness to sexual assault. Hidden Valley High School students are working with community partners to coordinate Project Hope. The program will start with a speaker who is a domestic violence survivor. Then students will walk through this exhibit here called "What Were You Wearing?"
Your wearing does not contribute to your likelihood of being sexually assaulted. It is not an excuse for being sexually assaulted. The entire project just aims to dismantle victim blaming and just that mentality of this is normal.
And the students are hoping that this event tomorrow will bring awareness to sexual assault. Sexual Assault Awareness Month is an opportunity to listen and honor survivors in our community and show those impacted by sexual violence that they are supported. And here at NewsWatch 12, we know a thing or two about Sparrow Clubs. We learned more about what students are doing at Phoenix High School to support Emiliano. The 2-year-old's journey has been challenging, but his positive spirit has inspired everyone at Phoenix High School. Right now, students are preparing for this Friday's talent show to help raise money for him.
Help a person in a really hard time in their life, we can help them just by going out and helping our community. And so it's really just like a win-win situation of getting to help benefit our community and also help raise money for our Sparrow Emiliano.
Attendees will not only be entertained by the talent of the show, but they'll also have the opportunity to vote for their favorite performance. Voters will place money in designated boxes, and all of that money will go towards Emiliano support. The talent show starts at 6 p.m., and you can learn more about other fundraisers on our website, kdrv.com. And if you don't have your Saturday planned, consider yourself by skiing and taking a couple non-perishable food items up to Mount Ashland. As a part of Ski and Ride for Hunger, the ski area is offering free lift tickets for the day with the donation of 5 non-expired food items. All donations will go to Access to make a difference in our community. Now, after an 11-year hiatus, the Brit Music and Arts Festival is bringing back Rock Camp. The camp is open to musicians entering 8th through 12th grade from beginning to advanced skills. The camp is being led by folk rock band Raining Jane, who have taken the stage at Brit before. The camp will take place at Jacksonville Elementary School from July 7th to July 11th. To learn more about the Rock Camp, head to our website, kdrv.com.